Kylie voice.
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the show.
Hello, everybody.
What's
we
goody?
are back for another episode. Happy weekend.
Happy weekend, everybody. Another week in this thing called life.
Mm-hmm.
How are you doing, Cece?
I'm good. What about you?
I am an emotional basket case.
Oh no, what's wrong?
It's cancer season and it's hitting me really hard and I am just not well.
I was about to say you should be thriving since it's a water sign season.
I would think so, but it's making me extremely emotional and I literally cannot stop crying. I've cried like every day this week.
What the hell?
Right.
Oh no.
And so my quote, just to tie it all in, is from the Kardashians, and Kourtney just says, "I feel fine. I just cry myself to sleep every night." And like, same sis. Like, that's where I'm at. That's what's happening. I just cannot. And there's like nothing really wrong. And if I like really think hard about it, like, what's the problem? I'm not sure. But yeah, just I'm like a walking tear duct this week.
I feel you. I mean, do you, like, side note, do you have a favorite Kardashian quote?
Of all of them?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. There's a couple from Scott that are pretty iconic.
I love, "You're so fucking rude." I think Kourtney says that. And then I also love Kim when she's crying and she's like, "You know that I'm trying," and na. You know that quote? It's like, she says something, but yeah, that was a side note.
No, I love when after Kim's divorce and Chris is like, Kim's going through a really hard time right now. We have to be there for her. And Scott is like, I think an email would be sufficient.
Oh my god.
That's iconic. And like, when he goes to go get to become a lord, he's like, "The room, what does it smell like in here? It smells like wealth."
Like wealth.
That's iconic as well. I love that. Yeah. Scott is definitely my favorite Kardashian.
Yeah, same. I love Scott. I love Scott and I love Chris. I think Chris is so funny.
Chris is funny. She's hilarious.
Yeah, and then her and Corey are just hilarious.
Corey is my favorite person on the Kardashians in the later episodes. Like, he's hilarious. I hated when they were, like, on that, like, we hate Corey tip, because I was like, Corey's the man.
Yeah.
I don't understand what you're doing. I don't like this narrative. Like, stop it right now. I love Corey.
Yeah, we stan, for sure.
He reminds me of Uncle Basil. I think that's why I like him so much.
Yeah,
he was just, like, fun and funny and just, he's up for a good time. And honestly, after I saw that video of him when they were all in that island for Kim's birthday and he hit that split in the dance battle, I was like, he's iconic.
Yeah, we love Corey. He fits in. He fits into the family.
Okay, so weird little tangent, but how are you this week?
So I'm doing better. I mean, for the past couple of weeks, I've been kind of going through it. I've been a little stressed, but my quote this week comes from a Captain America movie.
Okay.
And Captain America says, "I could do this all day." And I say that because I just covered Miami Swim Week.
You did.
I'm a journalist, in case you guys didn't know. I talk about it all the time. But I got to cover fashion this week, and I just loved it. And I realized, wow, I really suit writing about fashion. And writing about the politicians just may not be for me anymore.
Oh, I love that for you.
Right?
I don't like not that I don't like your political pieces, but they're just heavy and they're upsetting and they're sad.
They're upsetting and they're sad.
The fashion stuff was real cute.
So fun, so fresh.
Right.
So got a little break. And we love that for me.
And you were like a gal about town. I was like, wow, my sister's like famous. She's like at things.
I was doing Hot Girl Summer, finally, as I should, because this whole summer I've just been working and going to school, and it's not fair.
No.
I don't deserve this.
Yes, I like the fashion you. I like the on the town you.
It was really great.
Yeah, good. Okay. So let's get into the show because we have a lot to talk about.
Definitely. Today we're going to get into the first episode of the Gossip Girl reboot.
Yes.
And we're also going to get into another show on HBO Max.
Yes, called Jett. What do you want to start with, Jett or Gossip Girl?
Let's start with Jett because I know we're going to argue about this.
Okay.
So Jett is a show on HBO Max. It is about a woman who just got out of jail. She's used to be a part of, like, I wouldn't say mafia, but I would say
crime
like
syndicate.
Crime syndicate. That's a good word.
Mm-hmm.
And she's out of the life, or so she wants to be.
Mm-hmm.
And then she gets sucked back in, of course, by one of her old bosses. And then, of course, everything unfolds.
Chaos ensues.
Yes. So we watched the first 4 episodes, and I really like the show, but Adriana has mixed feelings.
Okay, so, like, I love the casting. Like, the main girl, she's the Gina, I don't know her last name, but she's the mom from Spy Kids.
Yes.
If you know, you know.
Mm-hmm. She's hot.
Very hot. Like, I love her.
She's great.
And Giancarlo Esposito is in it. Mm-hmm. Love him. The casting is great. I just think the pacing of the show is weird. Like, a lot is happening, but I feel like it's moving really slowly. And the episodes just seem, like, long and drawn out to me. Like, I want to say it's slow, but then when you really sit down and think about it, like, a lot happened. But I'm just, like, kind of bored. And I think it's, like, the pacing of it.
You know what it is? Each episode feels like a movie. Like,
right.
It's similar to, like, a movie plot. Like, the first episode, that could have been, like, its whole own movie.
Right.
The second episode, like, that definitely could have been its whole own movie. So I think that's why you feel like it's slow and you don't know where the show is going, because, like, there's not, like, one long plot.
Right.
Like, a lot of things are just happening.
Right. And I'm just, like, it's just, like, not connecting for me.
Yeah.
I'm, like, not into it.
Mm-hmm. Like, usually a show, like, a whole season of a show, 5 episodes, 6, what have you, is, like, one heist. When we've already had, like, 4 heists.
Right.
Yeah.
Every episode, like, something new is happening. And they're telling all these backstories of all these characters. And then things that are happening currently. I just, like, cannot get into it for some reason.
I mean, I love a good crime show, so I feel like that's why I like it.
This is my genre. Like, I thought I was really gonna like this. I love, like, mafia, mob, heist things. Like, this was it. And I don't know, I'm just, like, not connecting with it.
You never finished Money Heist, right?
No.
I'm gonna go for that to come back. It's so good. You need to.
It's on my list of things to watch. But yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking about it earlier because I was like, oh yeah, like Jett, the heist kind of remind me of Money Heist. Not, you know, in the same, not that they're as intricate, but, you know, it gives me the same vibe, and I haven't had a crime show like this in a minute.
Yeah, you know what? There's something about, like, the style that feels very, like, comic booky.
Yes.
It feels like Sin City or, like, even Kill Bill-ish in a way. And, like, the way, like, everything moves. And I think that's what I don't like, because I don't like those films.
Okay.
That's what I'm having trouble with.
Yeah, definitely the style of the movie is very, like, 70s, almost like, I don't know how to say it. Like, what's that style of furniture? Postmodern? No. It's like,
I know what you're talking about. I don't know what that's called.
I don't like that furniture.
It's very, like, 70s art deco. Not art deco, but, like,
what's that called?
Oh, I know exactly, like, the bubble chair.
Yes.
It all looks like that and feels like that. Like, when she goes to meet Giancarlo's character at the hotel, and she walks in and the door's open and they're standing there.
Mid-century modern.
Yes.
It's very mid-century.
Yes.
Yeah, the style of how they film everything.
And even the houses that they filmed in.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I'm just, like, not loving it.
It's a style. It reminds me of, like, Quentin Tarantino.
Yes, it does. It's very campy almost.
It is a little campy.
I don't like camp.
They try to make it, I think they're trying to give like comedic relief, but I feel like this type of show, it should be dark humor. It shouldn't be like goofy humor. It's goofy humor.
Right. Like the main bodyguard that is stalking the girl that they kidnapped. Like he is just like so goofy to me. Like he is camp. And I'm just like, I don't like you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind it because I feel like, you know, the things that are happening in the show are cool.
And, like, even Charles Jr.'s character.
Oh, I hate him. He's so annoying.
And the way that they have him, the extreme close-ups and, like, his, like, weird kind of, like, diabolic attitude. Like, I don't know. I'm just, like, not vibing with it.
It's like Austin Powers vibes.
Very. Yeah. It's like dark Austin Powers, but like not as dark as you want it to be.
Exactly. So, you know, if you're into that type of thing, you might like this show.
Yeah. It was acquired by HBO because it was originally on Cinemax and it came out in 2019. So I don't think we're going to get a second season of this.
Okay.
I don't even know if I'm going to finish it, to be honest.
What? When was the last time that happened?
I know. Yeah. But like literally, I watched the first 2 episodes and I was like, I kind of want to stop here. Like, I was not feeling it.
No, I like the first episode with the Cuba and her trying to get with the mob boss and them stealing the ring. Like, that could have been a movie.
It could have been.
That would have been really cute.
I like the concept. Love the concept. And I like the cast. I'm just not liking the execution.
I'm a little mad that we haven't seen the Russian guy again.
Yeah, he's down in Cuba, though. I don't think he leaves Cuba.
But, like, we don't see what he's doing. I liked him. And I just feel like he was such a big part of the first episode. Why ain't he back? Like, we keep hearing about him. Like, oh, he wants you to do this, he wants you to do that. But, like, where is he?
Well, he's not in America.
Okay.
He's, like, the boss from abroad. You know, he handles things through the intermediary guy.
You think mobsters from Russia actually hang out in Cuba because of, like, all the political ties?
I wouldn't be surprised.
It's pretty lit.
I guess. I don't know.
I mean, no one else can go to Cuba right now.
Well, yeah, but I don't know. It is kind of nice. It's very nice down there. I mean, it's like sort of nice down there. It's like it's got its nice and its bad parts, but yeah, I don't know. I'm just like not into it. So watch it if you would like. Can't say I recommend, but you know, it was cute.
I recommend. I think it's nice. So it's a good show. I'm gonna finish it.
Okay. I will not, but you enjoy that. And we were gonna do a part 2 deep dive. I'm just like, I don't know. How do you like her character though?
Okay, so I like how badass she is. And I like that she's smart. I think her lines are really witty. But like her relationship with her child is a little weird.
Very
I'm
weird.
like trying to figure that out. And then I want to know about the woman that she lives with. What's the relationship there?
I think you see their kind of like backstory and how they met a little bit.
But they're not lovers.
No.
They're just like
they're
friends.
And she helps her raise. I think when she went inside, she raised the daughter for her.
Oh, okay.
I think that's why the daughter is like so comfortable with her.
Yeah. Because she was pregnant and the lady was like, yeah, like I can't have kids.
The black guy that got killed in the first episode, that's her baby daddy?
No, that ain't her baby daddy. I think that was just her little man.
Okay, because I was like, this little girl does not look mixed. Like, no. I'm so confused as to who the father is.
Yeah, that is not her baby daddy. I think that was just her little boo thing.
Okay, I want to know who the father is because she said he died suddenly, and I was like,
he was probably killed.
True. Okay, I don't know. Do you think that maybe her old boss, she fell in love with him? Remember the guy in the first episode that she flashed back to that had her tied up with the cop?
Oh, that guy? No. I mean, did you watch until episode 4?
Yeah.
That was the guy that was in the wheelchair.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, that was him.
I really stopped paying attention by episode 4. I was on my phone, and I was on Twitter.
Yeah, let's move on. You're uninterested. Anyways, Gossip Girl.
Gossip Girl, let's talk about something I actually enjoyed.
You liked it?
I had mixed feelings,
Okay.
but I'm here for the long haul.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're gonna do like weekly recaps because I am an OG Gossip Girl fan. As I said before, I read the books as a teenager before there was ever a show. I watched the show when it first started. And so, like, yeah, I'm here for the Gossip Girl revival. I just, like, don't know if 2021 is going to completely ruin the legacy. And it kind of feels like it is.
Okay.
But I just want to see the demise.
Okay, so Gossip Girl is back. And, I mean, Mommy asked me, so, you know, I'm pretty sure other people are wondering. No, it's not the same main characters.
No.
But yes, it's the same writers. So, the style of Gossip Girl is going to be somewhat similar, but it's on a new network. It's on HBO.
So it's racy.
Yeah, and a la Euphoria, you're going to see these kids do drugs, hook up, and we know that that was happening in the original Gossip Girl, but it was more alluded to. And in this new iteration, you actually see these kids hook up. And I mentioned this to you. I have a problem with the teenage shows where you actually see the kids having sex.
I do too. I don't like it.
It feels weird.
It feels predatory and rapey and pedophilic and just inappropriate. Like, as adults, I just feel like it doesn't matter if you're making shows about teenagers. Like, it should not be appropriate for you to film something and say, to be able and put it in the context that these are teenagers having sex.
Exactly. It feels really strange. And I mean, I know that it's accurate. We know that teenagers are having sex. But like every other show that's on normal cable stations, I don't want to actually see them do the deed.
Yeah, I agree. The opening scene is two characters that are in a relationship having sex, and I was like, whoa. I legitimately like screamed out. I was like, whoa. Because I was like shocked. I just didn't expect that, and I was just like, this is strange.
Yeah, I didn't like that one bit. You know, show them kissing and then cut away and we know what happened.
Right.
Don't actually show them hooking up. But anyways, a couple of other things are different about this show. We have a lot more diversity. 3 of the main characters they look mixed race or black. And these kids, like we mentioned, they're woke, quote unquote. And they talk about like the rich guilt, which also kind of like I wasn't feeling.
I think it was blended well. So they're in the same setting. They're at the same school that the original Gossip Girl took place in. One of the original characters that was at school with like Blair and Serena and all of them is now a teacher. That's the one that was talking to the other teachers about like, oh, you guys wouldn't know this, but Gossip Girl was big when we were kids, whatever.
Yeah, and I like the fact that they actually mentioned the OG characters in the first episode.
I like that they bridged the gap. I think whether you're rich or you're, poor in today's society, there's no way for you not to have a level of wokeness. There's just the world that we live in just speaks about, the inequalities of all different types of life, within race, within socioeconomic status, within, just access, all of those different kinds of ways. So I don't think like it's harder to get away with saying like I'm rich and I'm out of touch in today's society. It's just like not a thing. Like everybody's on Twitter, everybody's seeing these discussions take place. It doesn't actually feel authentic to the time if they were completely unaware. And so I understand the choice, but I just don't like it because that's not what I want out of this show.
Yeah, I mean, it was almost satirical. I feel like they watched a TikTok activist and used that as source material for the way they talk about, the woke topics in the show. And it almost seems more pretentious to see rich kids like aware of their privilege and talk about, we have to be aware of the marginalized communities than them just being out of touch. Like it feels really pretentious.
Oh yeah, and I think that's really accurate. It's like when celebrities are like Like, okay, think back to coronavirus. And it was the celebrities were like singing into their cameras in their multi-million-dollar homes to give people hope and comfort in this time of health unrest and political whatever. It's like, ma'am, what are you doing? It's like, it was like more of a slap in the face because they are so wealthy and privileged. It's like you should actually know that this is not like the right thing to do or say in this moment, but they're not.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, I feel like shows like Gossip Girl, like rich kids running around the Upper East Side getting into drama, it should be an escape. You shouldn't want to be reminded of the real things that are going on in the world.
Well, I completely agree, and that's why I was like, I understand the choice to make them woke, but I don't like it because that is what I want. I want somebody to be out of touch. Like, I want them to be out of touch and, like, not really know what's going on. And it to be an escape with their clothes, their fashion, the fact that they're, like, 16 and going into nightclubs because they're rich, so wealthy that it doesn't matter. And connected. Like, I want that, like, life that's not real for most people.
Exactly. And I mean, I've come to realization recently that I just don't like the social media activism. I feel like it's so performative.
It is.
And at this point, we're all doing it for each other. Oh, this person isn't sensitive enough. Oh, like, and I feel like that's what's happening in the show too. Like, they want to prove that they're smart and in touch to what's actually going on in the world when it's like you're not in that world and people from that world aren't seeing you and being like, oh, great, like you see us. It's the people around you that are just like, good job.
Oh, of course. I mean, that's all social media activism is.
Yeah, like, I hate it.
Like, every time something pops off and everybody's sharing the same infographics and the same information, it's like, ma'am, first of all, your quote-unquote platform is, like, not a real thing.
Yeah.
Like, stop trying to tell people. Like, stop acting like you are a news source. Like, you're not. Like, post your outfit and go.
Yeah, please. Like, I feel like we need to leave the activism to the actual activists that are on the ground doing things for those communities that are in need. Like, you posting about it on social media does nothing.
I completely
Why
agree.
are we doing it?
I completely agree.
Yeah, and like, I post about different situations, but it's because I work in news. And I feel like if I'm posting like news organizations and what's happening, it's like maybe some people that follow me for that and my work. But like, you, random beauty blogger, what are we getting from this besides more of what we're already hearing?
Exactly. That's the problem. It's just more regurgitated things that it's already being said.
Yeah, and what is that actually doing? Just proving that you're doing something?
Yeah, I don't...
Like, what are you trying to prove? Yeah, so I did not like that aspect of the show at all. We'll see if it keeps coming up in the next episodes.
Oh, I think it is, because that one kid, I don't really know any of the characters' names. To be honest, they all had, like, weird names.
They did. Okay, but that was also accurate because I feel like millennial parents or, like, our parents, they gave kids weird names, and now the Gen Z kids, like, they all have weird-ass names.
That's kind of true.
And no, I don't consider myself a part of Gen Z.
Yeah. Max, Zoya, yeah, like... Otto, like, they had just, like, weird-ass names.
Also, like, rich people also give their kids weird names, so this made sense.
Okay, so let's talk about the storyline.
Okay.
So we've got Julian, which is the bald girl. Mm-hmm. How stunning is she?
Obsessed with her.
I'm living for her.
She's gorgeous.
Gorgeous, like, just beautiful girl. She seems, like, so sweet.
Yeah.
Okay, so her character is the half-sister of Zoya, who's the new girl at school. She's a freshman. They had the same mother, never met, never never in each other's lives. They have different fathers, and their fathers have beef.
Yes.
And so Zoya comes to the school, and, Julian wants to bring her into her friend group, but she doesn't want to let them know that she's bringing them in. She wants them to accept her as, like, a genuine friend outside of their their own connection as sisters. I thought it was cute.
That was cute. I liked it.
I thought it was different. What else?
So,
I like the cast of kids. Like, I like the roles that they're playing as, like, a group of friends. You know, you've got the two that are, like, married at 16. Then you've got Julian's two sidekicks that manage her social media and her presence.
love that. I actually love that.
I love that too, but I feel like at some point they're going to start to resent her and, like, want to pop on their own. Like, I just don't know what, at this point, they're getting out of that. Like, they're each as rich and affluent as she is. And I don't know why, like, they are so invested in making her a star and not, like, being, like, some, like, boss girl gang.
I mean,
you know,
being behind somebody's presence is a big deal. And I would compare it to in The Politician, like his little minions, his campaign managers that are behind the scenes, like they get something out of being behind the person who's big.
Okay, in politics that makes sense, but in social media it doesn't.
Okay.
You know, like your chief of staff is just as well known as the president is. You know, but like in social media, no one knows the social media manager.
You're right, I guess.
You know?
So that would be a cool little storyline if they are eventually like, no, I want to be the star.
Right. And I think they will. I think they're going to start to resent her as she kind of goes back and forth with this relationship with her sister.
And then you have her boyfriend.
Yes.
That is the richest, guiltiest one, out there feeding the homeless, doing the most.
But, like,
he's actually doing things, though.
I don't mind him.
Yeah, I like him because he's actually doing things.
He's actually doing things. He's, like, involved with organizations. He clearly, like, gives away some of his money or whatever. And I don't think that's, like, bad. Like,
no, some people actually have a passion for helping others, and that's what they do. They help.
Yeah, I don't mind his character at all. And then you've got Aubrey, who's supposed to be, like, the new Blair character, and then her boyfriend, what's his name? Aquino. Or Aki is what they call him.
The pink hair guy.
Pink hair guy.
She's supposed to be the new Blair?
Yeah. And then Max, the one that's like bi, he's supposed to be the new Chuck.
Okay, that makes sense.
And I think they're gonna have like a throuple.
Definitely throuple vibes. And I love like him. He's my favorite character so far. Yeah, he's my favorite character. We love a good debaucherous, not caring kid.
That's so
hot.
much.
Yeah.
And he is hot. Like that little jaw. Love it.
Yeah, he actually gives me Chuck Bass vibes.
Kinda.
Like new.
No, not really. No, actually I don't. Because Chuck is very like clean cut, straight, like 3-piece suit. This kid is like off-white.
Okay.
You know, like very grunge.
But I'm talking about his face. Like the dark hair, the jaw. He gives me like Chuck vibes. Sorta,
yeah. I could see it happening as he like grows up. They're all really young. So as they get older, they'll like kind of mature facially. But yeah, I like his character, I think, the most right now. He's like on the wild side.
But it's funny because I thought the new Blair was going to be the main girl, the bald girl.
I thought so too. But she almost seems like even though she's like the top dog, she almost looks like she could be completely irrelevant in 3 episodes. You know, like I feel like the pieces on the chessboard are going to be moving.
Yeah, but I mean, they even said so a new Gossip Girl emerges, and they try to create a feud between the two sisters, a la the feud between Blair and Serena. So I thought maybe that was going to be the vibe, like the bald girl is the new Blair, her sister is the new Serena. But I think they're really trying to distinguish themselves and make the show a little bit different.
Yeah, I think so too. What do you think about this feud with the sisters?
I see the vibes.
I see the vibes too, but I I like them as friends.
I like them as friends too. I think they're gonna be frenemies. Like, they are gonna like each other. They are gonna want to be in each other's lives, like sister, makeup, whatever. But if homegirl steals her boyfriend, it's over with.
Ooh, she's definitely gonna steal the boyfriend.
You think so?
I mean, this show is based on like the swapping of the spit within the fan group. Like, everybody dates everybody at some point.
Yeah, it's really sick.
I hate that.
I hated that about the show too.
Like,
when Blair dated Dan, what was the reason?
What was the reason? I think that's when I stopped watching, because I was like, I actually cannot take this anymore.
Yeah, so at that point, I knew that, spoiler alert, Dan was Gossip Girl, and I was just like, why does anybody like him?
Yeah.
Like, how could anybody still date him? And I knew he was Gossip Girl. Nobody else in the show obviously knew at that point, but I was like, this is just sick.
Right. Okay, so let's talk about Gossip Girl.
Mm-hmm.
The loser teachers.
So we know who Gossip Girl is from the jump this season, but I'm pretty sure it might change. Hopefully. Maybe we won't know.
You think?
Yeah, maybe like the account will get hacked and get away from them, and then nobody knows who Gossip Girl is.
Oh, that would be cute.
Yeah, right?
That would be really cute, because right now the creepy older loser teachers is not doing it for me. Like, when I saw that, I was like, oh, this is a doomed show.
Yeah, so basically you guys, the teachers feel like the kids are running wild and they need to be reined in. They need somebody looking over their shoulder to keep them in line, and they revive Gossip Girl. And I love the fact that Gossip Girl is now on Instagram and it's not a blog, because it makes sense. You know, you tag these kids, it goes viral. Instagram is what counts these days. This is where you curate your brand and your image as one of these hotshot rich kids. And I feel like it's relevant. It makes sense. And it makes sense for the teachers to be doing this, but I don't want to know who Gossip Girl is the entire time. Like, that was a part of the fun of the original show. Who's Gossip Girl?
Who is Gossip Girl? It's kind of like in Bridgerton, like, who is...
Lady...
Whatever.
Lady J?
Whatever.
Yeah.
No, Lady Whistledown.
Lady Whistledown.
You know, like, who is she? And I just think, like, knowing that it's the loser teachers that are actually allowing themselves to get picked on by teenagers and feeling bad about themselves, like, what? What?
What a load of crap.
And then, and then the choice to have the one teacher photograph the two changing teenagers in the window, I was like, okay, we have a problem here with, like, what's appropriate and what's not. Like, I know this is HBO, but, like, that's not appropriate.
You see, that's my problem with these writers, is that in some ways they're trying to be progressive, but in other ways it's like you're really pushing the line of what's appropriate to portray about these kids.
Right? I completely agree.
Yeah, it's really weird. And I also have this problem with Euphoria. I don't want to see these teenagers hooking up. I just don't.
Yeah, like, I watched, I think, one episode of Euphoria, and that one girl goes and hooks up with that
Maddie in the pool
with the father.
Oh no, yeah, Jules.
And she basically gets, like, raped by him.
Well, it wasn't
not, like, raped, but, like, I don't know. He just, like, took it too far. And it's just like, why are we seeing this? Like, this is a 16-year-old girl getting railed by a 37-year-old man in the ass. Like, what is happening? Like, no.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of it either.
That is where that show lost me. I was like, absolutely not.
Yeah, and it's like, of course, we know that things like this happen in real life, but do we really need to see them in the explicit details that you showed them, HBO?
Yeah.
I'm surprised nobody else is talking about this.
When I went through the hashtag on Twitter, people were like, what is going on? Why is this grown man taking pictures of teenagers while they're undressing?
Okay.
So the sentiment is out, but I just feel like I don't like the conversation about, like, what is really appropriate in Hollywood, like, needs to be had in further, like, detail.
Definitely. I mean, one of the main showrunners is a male, so we know how we feel about male writers, but yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see. I like this opening episode. Okay, what did you think about the clothes?
The clothes were spot on.
You think so?
I think the clothes were spot on for 2021.
I thought Julian is dressed impeccably. Like,
amazing.
That red dress and that black leather trench coat when she came out of the fashion show was lit. Oh my god, I need that jacket.
Yeah, and the fashion show itself was amazing. I loved that scene.
Oh yeah, who was the designer again?
Oh, I'm not sure. I don't remember.
No, it was someone like really good. I can't remember right now, but that fashion show was great.
Fabulous.
And I loved the whole thing.
Yeah, and I mean, we know that in the original Gossip Girl, they had uniforms, but they would customize them. Blair would do her little preppy thing. Serena would do her, like, grungy rocker thing. And these kids are also customizing their uniforms, but they're so trendy. The high boots, the oversized sweaters, the little scarves, the Louis bag.
Yeah.
That we love that bag. That's the bag that Jerry has.
Tote. Yeah.
Though I think he has it in red. So I just feel like the clothes are really trendy and fun.
Yeah, I think I liked some of the clothes, and some of them I think needs work. Like, I feel like whatever the girl wore to the club, like the club outfits, like I was not impressed by.
Yeah, I wasn't feeling the club outfits either. They're definitely like Net-a-Porter, what people would wear like going out in their mid-20s. I need them to find like the popular Instagram brands that are popping off. Like, I want to see the nightlife trends because nightlife is popping right now. I want to see like the slinky little sparkly dresses.
Yeah.
Like, I want to see that. The two-piece sets.
I feel like that. I think that's what I was having a problem with some of the outfits. Even like the way they customized the uniforms. Like, I just felt like they were too old feeling.
Too sophisticated?
Like, yeah, they were just too like done. They're still teenagers, and these are supposed to be like the hippest, hottest, trend maker teenagers. I just felt like the clothes should have been a little fresher feeling.
Yeah.
So that's my only critique on the clothes.
Yeah, I needed their going out outfits to be like by brands by Mira Palace, Poster Girl with like that brand with all the cutouts. I need some of that. I don't want to see the Net-a-Porter, the brands, the BCBG. I don't want to see it.
Yeah, it was a little like not feeling it.
Yeah, but I thought the uniforms and like the other out and about clothes were fun and fresh.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
What did you think of them talking about quarantine? So this is supposed to be the school year after the year of Zoom classes. And they brought up the pandemic, which I didn't know they were going to.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody feels like it's necessary. I don't know why. Like,
what is the reason?
What is the reason?
I mean, I didn't mind it that much. I just thought it was an interesting choice.
Yeah, but I feel like everybody feels like we can't not talk about the pandemic.
I don't know. I don't like this woke shit.
I don't either. Like,
I wish I had a better word for it, but like I'm not a fan.
I just feel like everybody is trying to not get canceled, and it just gets really fucking corny. Like, it just feels very forced. Like, nothing really feels authentic about trying not to get canceled.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's, I think, my problem with it.
Yeah, and I mean, we all know the pandemic was a big deal, but like, so were a lot of other things and aspects of society that we haven't portrayed in TV in the past.
Yeah.
So why do we have to portray this?
Let it go, y'all. But anyways, we're going to be recapping Gossip Girl going forward, I think on a week-to-week basis. Like, I just want to start, like, a series. So come back for more Gossip Girl hot takes and tune in and let us know what you think.
Yeah, definitely. Join the conversation.
Watch along with us. All right, guys, it is now time for tea.
Time for tea. Clink your glasses. Pinkies up.
Lots is going on. Let's start with the 2021 Emmy nominations.
Yes, get into it.
The Emmy nominations came out this week, And lots of shows got lots and lots of nominations. Let's start with Outstanding Drama Series. The Crown, The Mandalorian, Pose, This Is Us, The Boys, Bridgerton, Handmaid's Tale, Lovecraft County.
Bridgerton was nominated?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Yeah, they got a lot of nominations.
We love that.
Yeah.
This Is Us is always nominated. I'm tired of that show.
I've never watched that show because I don't believe in watching things that purposely make you cry.
Same. Except for that psychic show. Oh my gosh, you guys, if you ever want to like really cry, there was this show about a psychic medium that was an Uber driver. And he would get people into his Uber and like tell them about their loved ones that had passed away. And every time it made me cry, but like it was a really good cry. It was amazing.
That's like Queer Eye. I had to stop watching it because I was like, I cannot watch this show and cry every single episode. Like it's just not no.
Yeah, it was like a taxi psychic show. Watch it if you want to cry. I highly recommend.
Okay, Outstanding Comedy Series. Blackish, Cobra Kai, Emily in Paris, Hacks, The Flight Attendant, Krasinski Method. I'm pulling for them. Pen 15 and Ted Lasso.
Okay.
Why is Emily in Paris being nominated for Emmys? Like, that show was such a piece of shit. Like, let's not even... Like, stop.
Did they have a shortage of shows last year?
I don't know. Like, this category has 4, 6, 7, 8 nominees. Like, I don't think it needed Emily in Paris.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think anyone liked that show. Did people like it?
I think people, like, liked it.
Oh.
And, like, cornily liked it. Like, you know.
Okay.
I think it had its audience.
All right.
Anyways, Outstanding Limited Series, Mayor of Easttown, Queen's Gambit,
Ooh,
Underground Railroad,
Damn.
I May Destroy You, and WandaVision.
Wow, that's a hard category.
That's a really hard category. What do you think is going to win? I didn't watch I May Destroy You, but I heard it was
really good.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, same. But, like, we don't like women getting abused.
There we go.
It's really hard to watch that. The only reason I keep watching The Handmaid's Tale is because I started from the beginning and I have to know how it ends.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like Mayor of Easttown.
Really?
I don't know. That was just so good.
I mean, you didn't watch WandaVision, though.
No.
WandaVision was amazing.
Yeah?
It was an amazing show. It stayed with me. And I feel like miniseries are the new thing. And I usually love a miniseries because it's one and done. But with WandaVision, I would have loved that to continue. And that takes a lot for me to say. So,
okay. I mean, the rest of the nominees is like, you know, all the regular... All the people, like, from all these different shows have been, you know, Outstanding Lead Actress in a Limited Series. The Anna Taylor-Joy from Queen's Gambit, Kate Winslet from Mayor of Easttown, Michaela Cole from I May Destroy You, Elizabeth Olsen from WandaVision. You know, it's like, you know who got nominated? Ewan McGregor for Halston, Outstanding Lead Actor in a Limited Series.
Oh my gosh, but did you like him in that role or no?
I kind of wanted it to be someone else, but he did do a good job.
I think he did an amazing job.
Hugh Grant in The Undoing, Paul Bettany from WandaVision, Lin-Manuel Miranda from Hamilton, and Leslie Odom Jr. from Hamilton.
Hamilton was nominated?
Apparently because it just got added to streaming, it was able to be nominated, which I think is great because, I mean, I would say I'm pulling for Lin because I just love Hamilton so much.
Same.
But, you know.
Did you know Hamilton was like halfway canceled?
Really?
Yeah, it was like kind of canceled because people made the connection of like, you know, we see these historically white characters played by black actors, and how would we feel if slave masters were played by black actors? Which I think is bullshit.
That's a reach.
Isn't it? Like, one of my coworkers told me that, and they were like, yeah, like, Hamilton was problematic because of that. And I was just like, I don't know.
I think that's a reach.
A little bit, right?
I don't want any white people in those rapping ass roles.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say it like that. Like, no, ma'am.
Yeah.
No, I think it's fine.
I love Hamilton. I love Lin-Manuel Miranda. Have you seen In the Heights?
I have not.
I need to go watch it. I need to go have another movie day with the popcorn and the wine.
There's a lot of discourse around that.
Really?
Oh my god, everybody was so upset about that on social media.
Why?
Because apparently, like, there's not enough black people and, like, Afro-Latinas in the movie.
What?
Like, they're saying that for them to have filmed in, like, Washington Heights, which is, like, a really, like, cultural diverse area, like,
there should have been
more black people in the film, or, like, Afro-Latinas.
Okay, that kind of makes sense.
That they're, like, the lead roles and even the supporting cast is just a little whitewashed, even though they were, like, Hispanic. It's, like, white Hispanics.
Okay. I can understand.
I can totally understand that. Yeah. I just think the Hamilton, that's a reach.
Isn't it?
That's a real reach.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's a modern interpretation of the story. It's not a culturally, it's not an accurate retelling. Like, come on, like, there's definitely some liberties with the storyline. There's definitely some liberties with the characters. And at the end of the day, it's an artwork that's, like, fictionalized.
And it was a masterpiece, so we need to leave it how it is. Nobody talks shit about Hamilton, please.
For sure.
Great American classic.
For real.
Anyways, in other news, apparently everybody knew DaniLeigh was pregnant, but she just confirmed it on her social media today, which is Friday when we're recording this. Reported by the Shade Room first. But we knew she was pregnant. I mean, you said you knew she was pregnant.
I thought I knew she was pregnant.
There were rumors going around.
Yeah, I didn't realize that it wasn't, like, confirmed.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Yeah. But good for her, I guess. I don't know. I feel like the baby just keeps having these, like, moments.
Babies?
No, not babies. But these moments where he's just, like, such a problem. Have you seen the video that he put out this week?
No.
He was, like, on the street with some kids and they were, like, trying to sell him candy. And they were asking him to, like, basically, like, buy the candy for more than it was worth because it was him. And he was just like, nah, you're not gonna hustle me, like, kind of thing. And he, like, posted it to be like, you shouldn't be, like, trying to get one over, like, you need to hustle for real. And everybody was just like, you look like a rich asshole.
Yeah.
And so then Soulja Boy came out with a video of him handing, like, stacks of cash to some kids on the street selling stuff. Like, you gotta pay it forward when you can. Like,
wow.
You can say all you want, but, like, help the kids out when you can. Like, don't be a dick about it, basically. And everybody's like, that's why we stand Soulja Boy.
That's why we love Soulja Boy, the first rapper to do everything.
Which is just so funny to me. But yeah, he just keeps having these moments where he's just, like, such an asshole.
Side note, Soulja Boy's rebrand is everything.
I don't think it's a rebrand, though. Like, this is just who he's always been.
But he was, like, gone for a minute. Now he's back on the scene and he's just, like, doing a thing. He's doing a lot.
I like that for him, though. I feel like when he was, like, in his prime, he was always the person that was doing a lot. So it's like, this is very on brand.
Drake!
Yeah, like, yeah.
We love Soulja Boy.
Soulja Boy's a legend.
We know. We love him.
Legend. Okay, so an update on a story from a couple months ago. Hilaria Baldwin is back, and she posted a lengthy Instagram post talking about, you know, kind of the controversy, and she is now claiming that her heritage is fluid.
What? What the fuck?
Okay, she says, when you are multi, it can feel very hard to belong. You are constantly going back and forth, trying to be more of this or more of that. You can feel you have to explain why you are the way that you are, trying to fit into the world of labels when there might not be one that perfectly defines you. You are never quite fit in because the other parts of you shape and influence all of your parts. Girl, what?
What that mean?
What?
When you're multi?
The way I've spoken about myself and my deep connections to two cultures could have been explained better. I should have been more clear, and I'm sorry.
Okay, so that kind of acknowledges that she's white. Like, thanks, sis, for coming to that realization.
Yeah, I just feel like this is weird. Like, sis, you're white.
Yeah.
And it's okay to speak other languages. Like, no one's saying you couldn't have learned Spanish.
Yeah.
No one's saying that you can't have moved to Spain and, like, live there forever and, like, live happily ever after. But, like, you're culturally not Hispanic.
Yeah, and you can't say that you were born in Spain when you were born in
Connecticut. Or wherever.
Yeah, please, honey, please. You can't say that you're Spanish and talk with a Spanish accent when, like, honey, your parents are, like, fully American.
And she lives in America. It's not like she lives in Spain now.
Because I could understand if your parents are from another country and then you, like, live there and you're born there and you're integrated into that culture. A bunch of people have American parents that move to Europe and, like, those people consider themselves European.
Right.
Because that's what the culture that they were around. Just like so many people from other countries move to America, but their kids consider themselves American. So, like, that's normal. But, like, you living in Spain for a little bit and just, like, pretending to be Spanish because there are videos of her, like, speaking with an American accent. Like, you putting on this farce is really weird.
Very, very weird. Have you seen, there was a video that I saw on Twitter. Twitter is just, I spend way too much time on Twitter.
Twitter is an amazing place.
But there was a video that came out with this guy. He was white, but he was coming out as Korean. Like, that was the title of his YouTube video. He was like, I have undergone my full transformation and I am now identifying as Korean. Like,
was that a joke?
No, like, he went and did, like, the eyelid surgery.
What?
And he did something else to make himself, like, look Asian. And he was like, I'm identifying as Korean. And of course the comments were crazy. People were like, that's just not how it works. Like, this is not a thing.
It's like that white lady that said she was black.
Yeah.
I mean, when do we draw the line?
I just feel like there's not a line to draw because this isn't a thing. Like, you can't just be from, like, another like, you're not just another like, you're not another heritage. Like, this is not gender or sexual identification. This is totally different. Like, I feel like people put those in the same basket. They're like, well, if you can be trans or you can be bi or whatever, why can't I be transracial or whatever? But it's like, that's not the same.
It don't work that way.
Like, that's like, don't be transphobic by trying to, like, justify that this isn't a thing. Like, that's a completely separate issue, topic, state, whatever.
Yeah.
And, like, this is some weird shit that white people are doing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there is anything wrong with changing your look. Like, if you want to look a certain way, more power to you. But if you're claiming that you want to be Japanese and you're going to make yourself look Japanese and then just live out your life like you're a Japanese person, what on earth?
I mean, this is where the conversation of cultural appropriation comes in. And
that's like actual cultural appropriation.
Right. But then it's like, where's the line? Like, that's the problem with, like, things about, like, culture and, like, people. It's like, what's appropriate and what's not. Like, really and truly, like, nothing should be appropriate. But it's like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't really ever feel like cultural appropriation, like, the conversations around cultural appropriation are, like, valid. Like, I feel like it's always, like, overhyped and, like, blown out of proportion. But it's like, this is just so far left.
Yeah, same. When it comes to cultural appropriation, I believe some things, like, when people from that culture say it's disrespectful, we have to, acknowledge that and stop doing it. But, like, other aspects of cultural appropriation, I feel like, once again, are just white people policing each other for no reason. It's like, can you actually talk to Black people and see how they feel? Because I feel like some of them, they don't care.
I don't know.
Like, if you go, if you go to New York and you ask the people on the street, hey, do you care if white people wear braids? They have way more things to worry about, and they probably don't give a damn.
Well, yeah, any conversation that takes place on social media is, like, not a real thing.
Yeah.
It's, like, an issue on the internet and not an issue in real life.
Yeah, definitely. But, like, this actually saying that you're from a culture and making yourself look that way, that is, like, so strange and disrespectful. Like, sure, if you want to dye your hair, wear contacts, whatever, make yourself look that way because you like that look, fine. But don't claim you're from that race.
Right. But I think that's what the argument says. Like, if you're gonna do something as small as, like, changing your eye color, or adopting a certain way of dressing, then, like, how many steps are you away from, like, undergoing eyelid surgery and claiming that you're from somewhere that you're not?
That's so weird. This is such a weird concept. I don't know, baby. Either. Anyways, in more news. At Swim Week, I saw Damon from Married at First Sight. I mean, not Married at First Sight. Love is Blind. I saw Damon, the one that was married to Giannina.
Okay.
And I say that to say season 2 of Love is Blind is coming out very soon.
Yes, but it's not like a season. It's not a new season with a new cast. But they're bringing back all the old characters, and are they, like, living in a house, or just what's going on?
I don't know. It kind of seems like we're just seeing where they are now, and we're following their lives. Because some of the couples stayed together, some of them did not. And some of them who we thought broke up in the beginning are apparently dating. So it's just like an update on them, and it's going to be following them in, like, their lives. And then I also think all the couples get back together and interact with each other, like at dinners and stuff.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting. I'm excited to see Lauren and Cameron. They're doing really great, and to see, like, where everybody else is.
Yeah, so little scoop on Damon. I can only tell you what I saw, but I had a couple of interviews lined up backstage, and he was hanging out backstage around the models. And he's obviously single. He was laying it on thick with a couple of them. And then we checked his Instagram story later, and I saw that he was out with one of the girls that I saw him talking to. Like, they had just met. I heard their conversation introducing each other, and then he was out with her. So, yeah. And then one of my friends that was with me, she said that apparently he's living up the Miami life. He's here every other weekend.
Wow.
And I'm curious to see if that comes across in the show.
Interesting. Well, we will see. When does it start?
I'm pretty sure it's coming out end of July.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we will be on the lookout for that. Definitely going to be watching. And in more TV news, MTV Cribs is returning to our airwaves. Now, this is kind of like their second reboot, because last year they had, like, a digital version of Cribs come back online. But now they're bringing it back to our TV screens, and they are set to feature in this first season Ashley Simpson and Evan Ross, Big Sean, Kristen Siriano, Johnny Weir, Jojo Siwa, Jordan Woods, Kathy Griffin, Martha Stewart, Nick Young, Nico Tortorella, Snooki, Rick Ross, Lion Lochte, a bunch of people. Tinashe, Scott Disick.
Okay.
Right?
I'm here for this.
I'm here for this too. I feel like with YouTube and, like, house tours are so popular, like, this should have come back years ago.
Definitely.
Because there's, like, a whole new set of stars that we could have been following and, like, seeing their houses, like the Kardashians, like, even though we see inside their houses, like, really, like, in the Cribs kind of way, it's just, like, different.
Definitely.
So I'm excited for this. I used to love Cribs, so this will be fun to watch again.
Yeah, and I hope it does well, just because everybody does house tours now, and I love a good house tour.
I love a house tour.
Yeah.
It's, like, one of my favorite kind of YouTube videos. And it's set to return on August 11th, so pretty soon.
Yeah, hopefully, you know, the concept translates to TV again, which I think it will. But my last piece of tea is that Olivia Rodrigo, you know, singer, new emerging pop star, went to the White House to raise awareness about younger people getting vaccinated.
That's what she went for? I was wondering why she was there.
Yeah, she made a little speech. She met Biden, and she was like, yeah, like, everybody needs to do their part and get vaccinated. Because, you know, younger Americans they still have the lowest vaccination rates.
Interesting. How do you feel about stars being political? Because this kind of seems, like, very close to, like, Instagram activism.
Maybe a little bit, but I actually think, you know, Olivia Rodrigo, she has a really big platform. She's hot right now. And, like, you don't really see a lot of, like, Gen Z stars doing these things. So I actually like that she did that. And maybe it's performative for Kim Kardashian to talk to Trump, even though she was doing good work, compared to, like, Olivia Rodrigo, this young, new girl, you know, going to meet Biden.
Okay, so I think this is what's wrong with celebrity culture. And I think this is why we have gotten so far away from, like, being able to regard, like, journalism as, like, something that's trustworthy. When we put these people, I'm just going to say celebrities, in this case Olivia Rodrigo, that has no medical background, no like intellectual
like she's not a
scientist, she's not a doctor, she's not an immunologist. Why is she telling people that they need to be vaccinated? Like, we're really only using her because she's popular, but popular doesn't mean that she is necessarily somebody whose word can be trusted on something. Like, she could be telling people to not get vaccinated. Should we trust her then? Like, I just feel like when we put celebrities in places of, instead of, like, actual people within a field who are trusted, who are educated, who have the credentials to be speaking on the topics that they're speaking on, it just lowers the bar of, like, what can be acceptable. And then we have the rise of all these, like, people with large followings that sensationalize the facts, that blur the lines of what is true and what's fake, and everything is now fake news, because it's like, where are the actual sources that it's coming from? No one's actual word can be regarded as true or factual, because everybody's talking.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
I see your point. And in a sense, that does make sense. But I feel like the celebrity endorsements of the past have been fine. And, you know, it's how people operate. You see Beyonce supporting Barack Obama, and you're like, oh, I love Beyonce, now I'm gonna go support Barack Obama. Or, like, you see that Kim Kardashian eats these salads, and it's like, oh, like, I love how that salad looks, I want it because Kim has it.
I know, I just, like, I have a really hard time, like, completely, like, being okay with that. Like, I just feel like people have, like, no mind of their own, and they just blindly follow celebrities, and that is just to such a detriment of society. And so, like, I always feel like you can't, just because someone's a pop star doesn't mean that they're not politically engaged and knowledgeable. So you never want to, like, put people in a box and say that you can't do more than one thing. I think people are multifaceted, but I just think that a part of that, like, the other side of the coin is that no one's word can be trusted, and everything is up for interpretation and up for, like, debate because of that.
Okay, I see.
I don't know.
No, it makes sense. Yeah. Don't put people in lanes where they shouldn't be. And I've said that before about celebrity culture. I don't like the celebrity hosts. Like, this is also a little piece of tea, but did you see Addison Rae's tweet about being a sportscaster at UFC?
Yeah, she hosted the fight.
Yeah. And she tweeted, my 3 months of journalism school prepared me for this moment, and all the journalists were hot, including myself. Everybody was like, why didn't you get a real journalist to cover the fight? You had to get this little Instagram girl. And, you know, her tweet sparked a lot of backlash and she got fired.
How do you feel about that?
I think it's bullshit.
That she went to journalism school for 3 months and thinks that that's her qualifications? That's enough qualifications for her to do the job?
I don't think that's how she meant it. She dropped out to, you know, be an influencer, which, I mean, if you want to do that, more power to you. You're making a lot of money, but, like, don't act like you're in that position because you deserve it. Like, people just like how you look, and that's why you're there. You know?
Well, yeah. I mean, that's the problem with celebrity. Like, really and truly, it's like no one's really that qualified to be doing the things that they're doing. They're just doing it because they're famous.
I mean, no, some celebrities are talented and qualified, and they deserve the position that they're in. But, like, Addison Rae, she's a TikToker and an Instagram girl. It's like she's one of those people that's famous for nothing. So it's like, why did you get a job that thousands of people are vying for and working so hard for?
Because she's got the followers.
Exactly. So I didn't like that. And then she was just, like, gloating about it in a sense. So that rubbed me the wrong way. Like, she should have just been like, I'm so grateful I was given this opportunity. I aspired to be a journalist when I was younger. Not my 3 months of journalism school. Here I come. Like, sis, I'm out here working hard for 4 years. That's like half
of the classes. Like, you didn't even finish that 15 credits. Like,
baby, that wasn't even a semester. That's not even a semester.
Relax.
You went to college for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, the last thing I want to talk about is Chrissy Teigen. And I know that we keep talking about her, but, like, I just can't help it at this point. I'm just completely invested. She posted this week on Instagram with a very long caption, and I'll give you the gist of it. And she's just like, I just don't know what to say here. It just feels weird to pretend that nothing is happening in this online world, and I feel like utter shit about it in real life. Going outside sucks. It doesn't feel right. Being at home alone in my mind makes me depressed. But I know that however I'm handling this now isn't the right answer. I feel lost and I need to find my place again. I need to snap out of this. I desperately want to communicate with you guys instead of pretending everything was okay. Cancel Club is a fascinating thing, and I have learned a whole lot. Only a few understand it, and it's impossible to know till you're in it. And it's hard to talk about it in that sense because obviously you sound whiny when you're clearly done something wrong. It just sucks. There's no winning. And blah, 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 blah. Love you guys. Miss you guys. I just needed a moment. I'm tired of being sick of myself all day. Blah, 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 blah. Girl, where are your friends?
That's what I was just thinking. Do you not have real life friends?
I don't think she does. And
that's really sad.
I think she had a lot of, like, Hollywood friends. And I think because of who John is, like, they had, like, couple friends. Yeah. Hollywood couple friends. But, like, who's your, like, 9th grade best friend that you're still in a group text with? Like, who was your maid of honor? Like, who are your real life, everyday, like, when you go home to your hometown or wherever you come from, like, who do you go and see?
Yeah, like, it sounded a little, I mean, okay, it can go 2 ways. Either needy because she doesn't have real people in her life, or it kind of could trend narcissistic if she has real friends and she also needs the amount of online attention and validation that she was getting before she was canceled.
Exactly. And I think it's the former. I just think she doesn't have friends, and she built up this, like, online persona of, like, this cool girl that was obviously very in and everybody kind of loved her. And now that that has all been taken from her, she has no idea how to define herself or what to do with herself because she, like, she's no longer spending hours, like, scrolling through Twitter and, like, funnily commenting on it and interacting with people and being praised for her wittiness. And now she's just like, I'm a big fat giant loser and I need online validation again.
I feel bad for her now.
I kind of do, but like also I don't trust people that don't have friends. So at this point, it's like this is her own fault.
That too. Oh my gosh, I was literally telling my boyfriend that the other day because I was interacting with this person and they were saying that their significant other was their best friend, and I was just like, some don't sound right about that.
I don't like that.
Like
either.
You don't have friends. And, like, I won't say whether or not it was a boy or a girl, but it's like, if you're a man and you don't have your boys, or if you're, like, a gal, like, I just love a gal's gal.
Right.
And, like, you not having friends is weird.
I was having this conversation the other day also. I don't trust people that don't have friends, and I don't trust people that don't have family. Like, yeah. I know, like, family is, like, a little iffy. Like, some people just come from really bad situations, and I can understand that, but, like... you don't talk to your mama? Like, why?
Yeah.
Like, what happened? Like, why?
Yeah.
And then people that don't have friends, I just feel like you're shiesty. Like, why don't you have any deep, lifelong connections to people? People like that just cannot be trusted. And that's why... I mean, I've said it before, but Meghan Markle, I don't know, like, girl, where her friends at?
A lot of people say that about her, surprisingly.
I said that when she got married. I was like, where she has no family or friends at this wedding. Everybody is a famous person. Yeah. That's a red flag.
And it's weird because she was in a sorority, and they interviewed her sorority sisters, and they were speaking, like, talking the world of her, yet none of them are that close to her. So that's a little weird. And we're not saying that everybody should have this large group of friends. Like,
no, but you need like one or two roll dogs.
Exactly. And like, I understand that a lot of people like move to different cities and they don't hang out with their friends all the time. That's normal. But like, if you're not making new friends at your job, even if you don't like them that much, or like making new friends, actively going out to do that, I feel like it's just it's a little bit of a red flag.
No, I think as you get older and as you move from city to city, I think it's definitely harder to make friends. I think not everybody wants to be friends with their coworkers. That's like a weird line. So I can understand as you get older, your friends, technically like new friends get harder and harder to make. And I can understand that there's a certain level of like drifting that happens with friends from your childhood or high school or even college. But you didn't hang on to one or two people along your entire 30, 40 years of life. Not one.
Definitely, yeah.
That's no. You can't be trusted.
Yeah, and like...
not one other person in your life, like, no.
Yeah, and if you do happen to find yourself in that situation, like, it's something to think about within yourself. Like, why do I push people away? Why am I not friends with that person anymore? Maybe I should reach out to them, make amends, or, like, if they don't want to be friends with me anymore, see what I did wrong. Because maybe you're an emotionally closed-off person and you don't even know.
Right.
Yeah, because I'm one of those people where I like to bring my friends together. Like, I'll meet somebody from a different group and integrate them into my friend group, and I'm one of those people. And I feel like there are a lot of outgoing people like that. So if you're not encountering at least one of them and being integrated into a new group every so often, if you're moving a lot, like, there's something else happening.
I think so, too. Yeah. I am the person that has, like, pockets of friends. Like, I have my high school friends, I have my sorority friends, I have my like college friends that were like guys, like my homeboy group. I have and that's it, really. Yeah. But like, and I've made friends like in school as an adult. But like, yeah, like all those people, I bring all those people together and I'm like, yo, like, you are all my people. So like, what's goody?
Yeah, and I like bringing people together, even new people sometimes, because like I think people are interesting, and if you have like a cool perspective, people are gonna like you.
I think so too. But I think it harks back to like, most people are like, a lot of people are not good people, and like a lot of people are not really that discerning. And, like, I think that's what a lot of people need to work on in life. Like, if you're encountering people and you're always being stabbed in the back and, like, everybody you meet is, like... And not everybody you meet is going to be a friend. And, like, if you're the type of person that picks up every, like, person that comes your way, it's, like, you're not discerning enough. Like, you got to know, like, who to bring in and who not to. And you got to have, like... you know?
Yeah, I mean...
You gotta be able to sift through a couple. Like, yeah, I don't know.
I mean... I can definitely tell when people are a little bit shysty.
Oh, absolutely.
So definitely, like, just pay attention to that. Don't be desperate for friends, obviously.
No. And to go back to the boyfriend thing, I absolutely hate when people are like, my boyfriend's my best friend.
Right?
No, girl.
Like, that's some bullshit.
Your homegirl that you call when you're mad at that nigga is your best friend. Do not disrespect her by calling that nigga your best friend.
Please.
Don't do that.
That's one thing I do not believe in. Your partner should be your friend, of course, but like that should not be your best friend.
No.
Yeah, no.
That's very unhealthy.
Yeah, and like I just feel like men connect with each other a different way, women connect with each other a different way.
Also, as somebody who I'm like a girl's girl, but like I used to kind of define myself as one of those girls that was like one of the boys. And I am. But, like, I always had an understanding that my guy friends and my girlfriends are very different.
It's so
different. The kind of friendships that you have with men and the kind of friendships that you have with women are incredible. Like, they couldn't be more different.
Yeah.
And, like, don't get them confused.
Exactly. Like, sometimes, like, it's not like you're gonna watch TV and have a glass of wine with your guy friend. Like, sometimes you just need, like, a girl.
No, you can do that with your guy friends. It's just, I don't know, the basis of friendship that you have as a woman with another woman is very different from that you have with a man. Like, it's just different. And you have to be able to navigate that in a certain way. Like, don't get it confused. Like, your girlfriends will hold you down. They should hold you down, like, through thick and thin, whatever. Like, men are... They're good friends, but it's just different.
It's just different.
I don't know how to completely explain it. Maybe one day I'll get there, but it's just very different. And this is somebody that has, like, lots of good girlfriends and lots of good guy friends.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I'm just a girly girl, but I just love when I hang out with Kat and we just drink and we talk about nothing. I feel like you cannot do that with a man. Like, girl conversations are just so different.
Yeah, well, it's different. It's very different. They're just very different. Like, I think the kind of conversations you have with your girlfriends is just invaluable.
Yes.
Like, as a woman. There's just no other way to put it. And this is from us as a family that comes from... We come from a woman of girls. So, like, we're very, like, women-centric.
Definitely.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. But Chrissy just needs some friends.
She needs friends. Somebody go befriend Chrissy, please.
But then that you also have to wonder, like, why doesn't she have any friends?
I hope she's not, like, mean. I mean, she's mean on the internet, but I hope she's not mean in real life. Like, you know those girls that are just, like, mean? And they don't, like, mean to be mean, but they're just mean?
Oh, yeah. Like, they're always making fun of something.
Yes.
And you're just like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, you're just there thinking to yourself, like, you're fun, but you're kind of a bitch.
Right. Like, she probably goes too far with her jokes, thinking that she's, like, so funny.
Yeah.
And then she's like, oh, you wouldn't get it. The internet would get it. Like, I just feel like she's that kind of person. Like, Twitter would get it. You don't get it. Like, and it's like, Twitter's not real.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, well, that was quite an episode. We went on lots of tangents. Hope you guys enjoyed it. That's my favorite part of the show with us. Like, I
talk about everything.
I love when we go off on these random topics and just, like, talk about life and society and relationships. And I hope we're leaving you with things to think about and things to have conversations about with your friends and family.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we are useful or we give any sort of useful advice in these conversations, but I hope people are taking something from them.
Honestly, I like podcasts that critique society, and I feel like we're never going to run out of things to talk about because society is always evolving and changing. And, you know, sometimes I listen to something and I take a question that's brought up and I bring it up to my friends, or I take it to my significant other, like, hey, what do you think about this? And it does enrich my life. So I feel like what we do is cool.
I think so too. Well, guys, thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of the TV and Tea podcast. Go ahead and subscribe to us wherever you are listening, whether that's Anchor, Apple, Google Podcasts, Spotify, you know, all the places. Wherever you are listening to us, please leave us a 5-star review. Tell us something nice. And if you're watching us on YouTube, feel free to subscribe and to give this video a thumbs up. And we will be back next Friday with another episode to serve up the tea on the latest TV and pop culture news. Bye.
Bye. We'll be back Saturday.
Yes. Oh, I said Friday?
Yeah.
I meant Saturday.